Hi, my name is Kipton Courier, and I'd like to welcome you to the world of beauty and magic. This is a YouTube channel where we meet fascinating people and the beautiful places they bring to life. Sometimes we go out and we meet people in person. That's always a lot of fun, but sometimes we're in my office and we introduce you to people like Hunt Slonem. And so Hunt Slonem is an artist. He lives in New York City. For people that are really into art, you probably already know who Hunt is, and you know, for decades. For me, I just discovered him recently, and I am completely and totally fascinated by him and have a big crush on him too. He's really into bunnies. I'm into bunnies. I think we have a lot of things in common. He really likes birds and butterflies too. And what I love about Hunt is painting. He sees it as a form of prayer or meditation and really brings a spiritual lens to the work that he does. And I just appreciate him. So today we're going to go through Hunt Slonem's Bitty Bunnies. I think he has another bunny book as well, but we're looking at Bitty Bunnies. And we're also going to talk about my other company. It's called East Coast Expositions. And so I'd like to introduce you to Hunt, and we're going to talk about bunnies. I love all things bunny. Um, and so he's lived in New York for a really long time. He's like an old school New York artist. And these paintings, a lot of them are from 2012 and 2013. He is still strong, still painting a ton. And he paints in a certain style. And so when you see it, and I highlighted some things at the beginning. So I'm going to go back and read them because I think they're important. I didn't use my little tags on it. And so the reason he started painting bunnies is he was eating at a Chinese restaurant. And you know how they have the zodiac signs per month that you were born. And discovered that he was in the month or the year. No, it's the year. It's not the month. He discovered that he was the year of the rabbit or the hare. And he thinks that I'm going to read this to you. I was in a Chinese restaurant a few years ago, and on the back of the menu, there was a chart of the Chinese zodiac designating the years that fall under each sign. It was while I was eating a spring roll that I discovered I was born in the year of the rabbit. I love it. While I was eating a spring roll. That means I'm supposed to have a compassionate nature, which I think I do. But even if I hadn't been born in the year of the rabbit, I might have chosen rabbits for my morning warm-ups because I've always loved them. As a child, I kept rabbits as pets. I used to dream about them. I still do, in fact. And so I was born in the year of the rooster or the cock. And I think I probably would have chosen the year of the rabbit if that was an option. Because I love them. And I don't know why. I've just always loved bunnies. We use a lot of bunnies in East Coast Expos marketing. I'm drawn to bunny art. I just adore them. And, when he talks more about bunnies and talks about the dynamism and their independence, they also have a mystical quality. I want to read to you the mystical quality. I think there's something more about the mystical quality. Let me see. I may have to come back. Oh, I'm going to come back to the mystical quality. So give me a second. I also discovered Albrecht Dürer's watercolor young hare. So if you have a moment, do a quick Google Albrecht Dürer young hare. It's a really beautiful, intricate painting. And the difference between Albrecht's painting and Hunt's style of painting is Albrecht was very detailed. Like he would use a single strand of the brush to complete the detail work, while as Hunt Slonem is very kind of big and broad and just, I would call his rabbits luscious. That is the word I would describe from a person who doesn't really know anything about art, right? Do any of us ever know anything about art? I don't think so. So there are lead roles for the rabbit in global traditions, from Jewish folklore and Korean myths to those of Native Americans and Central Africans, with a shared theme of the belief that the rabbit bestows good fortune on all who gaze upon his face. Oh, I think that's really special. And so getting into the rabbits, he does them in different ways and different groupings. The I'm going to try and pronounce this correctly. Chinensis 5 has a ton of bunnies, and they are hidden and they're different colors. And I really think that you can see a spiritual quality to this work, which is fascinating. And through bunnies. We've got a triplet here, which is also Chinesis. I like that Hunt sometimes paints oil on wood, sometimes he paints oil on canvas. He's a man of, I just, it's so wild. The bunnies keep going. I think he says he does his warm up every morning before he starts painting with bunnies. I think he can paint, 50 bunnies for his warm up. It's just kind of wild. Oh, this one really popped out at me. This is called Arlen, 2012, and this is oil on wood. I love the blue. The blue is just magnificent. And Hetty also is an oil on wood from 2013. And so if you were, we had our first East Coast Expo in January of 2026. And so antiques, art, and design, we had people from all over the country. We had lots of art exhibitors. And one of our exhibitors was the artist Jan Wier. If you have a chance, look her up, Jan Wier. She has a beautiful Instagram presence and a great webpage. And I'll put her information in the description below as well. And so Jan does a lot with bunnies. I am fortunate enough that I own her original. It's called The Strawberry Thief. And it's huge. And I love bunnies. And a lot of the bunnies in Hunt Slonem's book have been named, they have names. And so they're named after people. Like Hetty was on a few pages ago. And I'm fortunate enough that I have a painting named after me. It's a Kipton painting. I believe that the bunny's owner lives in Texas. I think that might be right. And you can also purchase a print of Kipton on Jan's website, and also a print of the Strawberry Thief. And I'll tell you more about East Coast Expo, our next one, in a couple of minutes. But let's keep going. So I love The Best Yet. This is another painting that Hunt Slonem did. It's just a ton of black outline bunnies. The black turns to gray at points and white, and they're everywhere. And I make up that they're friends. This one's really interesting. And so this one's The Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, and it's a really dark backdrop with the bunnies kind of shining through. I think this also speaks to kind of their mythical presence. Wasn't there a bunny in Donnie Darko? Do you remember that movie, Donnie Darko? I think there was a big bunny. Oh, and then also Harvey. Have you ever seen the movie Harvey with Jimmy Stewart? That's another mystical bunny. I think that there have been known to be like, I should have Googled this beforehand. You can Google it though, because you're probably double screening. You probably got this like running in the background, and you've got another little screen in your hand. So Google Harvey, but I think there was a word for it, of a mystical big bunny. Oh, and then we're moving on to Pixie, and Pixie is just precious. Pixie is oil on canvas with diamond dust. And I was recently at Jay Gates Antiques in Midlothian, Virginia, and he had a beautiful mirror that actually used diamond dust. And so before commercial manufacturing processes to make mirrors, they were very expensive. And jewelers would sell their excess diamond dust to the mirror makers, and they would put actual diamond dust in mirrors. And it creates a really beautiful effect. They get prettier as they age too. So more antique knowledge. Anyways, Hunt, I've had a lot of fun time looking at your bunnies. I love a pink bunny. Hunt uses during this period, there are a lot of blues and greens and yellows, but I always love a pink bunny. I'm going to keep going because they're all here. There's also Autumn. Oh, you have oil on wood and metal on this one. And then I love Five Play, rambunctious bunnies. And then on this, I'm going to end on Hunt Slonem's wall of bunnies. And these are his warm-up bunnies. His warm-up bunnies tend to be smaller, and then he gets into, bigger bunnies. And if you look at, I think Architectural Digest has a quick snippet of him walking through his studio that I love. I think it's Hunt in Full Force. And he shows you his collections and his bunnies. And there's this really big one. He said it was just a third of a panel, but I bet his really big ones are magnificent. So Hunt Slonem, bitty bunnies, but I also want to talk just a little bit about East Coast Expo, who we are and what we do. And so East Coast Expositions was born out of, I don't know, some sort of middle-aged virus that I think I caught at potentially Winter Tour or the Foix de Chateau outside of Paris. I've gone most of my life and never really been interested in antiques. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I became obsessed. And so that's why I think it's like some sort of like midlife virus that I caught at. If you haven't gone to Winter Tour, Google that too. It's very special. Anyways, I started doing these antique shows, and they're more like shopping parties. And the more I started kind of getting into them and learning about them, it really is a marriage between antiques, art, and design, because they all came together in a really beautiful way. And the next East Coast Expo, and so if this is older than September 2026, I'm sorry you missed it, but we will have another one. So go to eastcoastexpo.com. I like to theme them. And so the theme of the next one is going to be Candyland. And there will be lots of bunnies, and our artist friend Jan Wier is actually creating a piece just especially for our next East Coast Expo. And I'm working on, this is not finished. And I'm not an artist. And so it feels weird to share my lady that I'm working on, but she will be fully decked out. And we're going to have tons of antique dealers and artists and artisans and interior designers. And I always have magicians. There will be a magician there. We're going to have really fantastic music. And it's just really a shopping party and a celebration of beauty and magic. So I would love for World of Beauty and Magic viewers to come join us at the next East Coast Expo, whether it's September 2026 or you're watching this sometime in 2028. Come join us. Come find us. We're in Richmond, Virginia. And and then look up Hunt Slonem. And I think there was something else that you could Google, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, it's not a Puca, but the movie Harvey. Is it a Puca? And so I've got Martin Montgomery. He's our filmmaker with me. Is it a Puca?
It's a Puca.
It's a Puca.
But the name of the bunny is Harvey.
Yeah, Harvey's the bunny, but he is a mythical creature that is a Puca. It's a very large bunny. It's a wonderful movie. I rewatched it recently, and I don't typically like old movies, and it's excellent. Highly recommend. And so we're going to have bunnies. I'm obsessed with taxidermy. My husband won't let me have it in the house. I keep it in my office. And this lady is going to be fully decked out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hunt Slonem, East Coast Expo, and lots of bunnies. So thanks so much. And this is the World of Beauty and Magic. Please like, subscribe. We'd love to see you on this journey as we meet really fascinating people and go to beautiful places. And this is the reminder to always look for the beauty and keep the magic in your heart. And until next time, thanks for joining us.